This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Bidding wars are back in Sacramento. In fact, just this last weekend, we had we put a house on the market and we had over 4 offers come in over list price. We had another agent represent a buyer, and he was up against 7 additional buyers on the same home. So bidding wars are back.
And is that due to just the market improving, or what would you attribute that bidding war to?
Yeah, so I think a couple different things. It seems like people are adjusting to the new normal. Interest rates above 7% are here, and there doesn't seem like they're going to go away anytime soon. And people are tired of waiting. Sellers are tired of waiting from, hey, I'm waiting for interest rates to go down. Buyers are tired of waiting for the prices to come down. And the prices just continue to go up. And so they're just like, hey, this is the new normal. I'd rather take that next step and begin the process rather than wait. And there's just a lot of pent-up demand from people who were waiting that are like now jumping back into the market. Yeah. So
when you mention bidding war, do you mention that in a way that it's a good thing or a bad thing, or it's somewhere in the middle? It just depends on who you are. How do you define a bidding war in terms of good or bad?
So if you're a seller, it's a fantastic thing. It's wonderful. Because,
and explain why that is.
Yeah, because if you're a seller, you want a bidding war. Oftentimes, I guess there might be somebody listening to this show and thinking, okay, if there's a bidding war, then I'm worried about leaving money on the table. I should price my home higher, right? Because the market is so hot right now. Let me price my home a little bit higher than maybe what the online portals like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com are showing, or maybe what my agent is suggesting. And the problem with pricing your home higher is you may only get one buyer. And then when that buyer comes through, then they're going to do their due diligence on the home. They're going to inspect the home. Even if it's sold as is, they have the right to inspect what they're buying. And they always have a request for repairs. I always tell sellers, budget for this request for repairs. Well, then they they renegotiate with you on the request for repairs. You can accept, counter, or reject the request for repairs. But if you reject it flat out, the deal falls apart and you go back on the market. Now, in today's hot market, sellers or other buyers are going to wonder, hey, why did that home not sell? What's wrong with the home? So it has a stigma. So you feel pressured to at least negotiate with the buyers on that. And that's if you only have one offer on the table. Compare that to you have 2, 3, 4 offers on the table. Well, you can accept the highest and best, or you can accept the offer with the best terms for you as a seller. And then you can also have the second best person complete what's called a backup offer, have them complete it in writing. So that way, if the first offer falls through, or if they get too aggressive on the negotiations for the repairs, you can say, hey, we already have a signed backup offer. Like if take it or leave it. And that gives you a whole lot more negotiating power as a seller in a bidding war type of a situation.
Okay, so for these homes that you're listing and you're generating bidding wars, what strategies are you utilizing at Made for More Living? What strategies are you utilizing to attract those bidding wars? Or is it, like you said, it's just part of the housing market right now? People have established that the rates are going to be what they are and they need to get into a home. Talk a little bit about that, of what draws a bidding war.
Yeah. So what draws a bidding war? Number one thing is pricing the home correctly. Like not overpricing it, not necessarily underpricing it, but pricing it correctly. So what we always say is the listing price is the marketing price. It's not the sales price. Just because let's say the home comps out at $400,000 and you started at $399, that doesn't mean the home's selling at $399. It might sell for $380. It might sell for $420, right? Depending on a number of different factors.
So is that your goal when you go into a listing appointment and you talk to a potential client, you strategize, hey, our goal here is to list this home at a competitive price, maybe even lower than the market, lower than comps, so that you generate that bidding war? Do you have that on a regular basis? Hey, let's try to generate a bidding war?
Yeah, we do have that conversation.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's up to the seller, because as I always tell them, it's your house, it's your rules. I'm here to advise you. Hopefully you trust me enough, like if we're going to work together, that you trust me enough to take my advice. But at the end of the day, it's your house, your rules. For example, in the Bay Area, I recently read a blog by Ryan Lundquist. Whether you're an agent or a buyer or seller, you need to sign up for Ryan Lundquist's blog. It's the Sacramento appraisal blog. Best one on the market, and the guy's local, and he gives like honest truth. He doesn't care if you're a buyer, a seller, or an agent. He's just telling you, hey, this is what's happening in the market. And recently he did a blog about homes that are selling in the Bay Area. And homes that, I think it was like 51, maybe 53% of homes that are selling in the Bay Area are selling for over list price. And the reason why is because in the Bay, they strategically price homes 5, 10, 15% below market value. And to put that in context, 5% below market value on a $500,000 house is $25,000. That's a lot of money, you know? And so for whatever reason, sellers over here don't trust that, right? But it 100%, it works 99.9% of the time.
Because historically, Sacramento hasn't always been a hot market like it is now. Whereas the Bay Area, historically, it's always been, you know, very competitive, right?
Well, it's like listening to the radio. Like you'll hear like around holidays, the auto dealers, they'll have a special deal on a car, right? It's called a lead magnet. It's pulling them in for that one car. But your home should be a lead magnet, right? It needs to stand out from the crowd. And sometimes people, for example, Valerie has a home that she's a buyer she's working with in Los Lagos, premium community, right? The buyer was adamantly opposed to Los Lagos. She did not want to move into there. She did not want the home prices. But then all of a sudden, she thought it was outside of her budget. It was 50% higher than what she was wanting to pay for a home. But then the JJ actually sent her the listing on this one, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love it! I need it! I want to have it!" Right? And so she went in and made an offer on that home. So what that has to do for sellers is oftentimes, if you are pushing the upper envelope of what the home is priced at, people aren't even seeing your home. Because they've set their search filters. The realtor has set the search parameters based off what the client has told them. But they'd be willing to pay a little bit more if they knew it existed, if it checked all the boxes. And so that's why it's so critical to price a home correctly. And then as far as marketing goes, we joked a little bit about the 3 Ps. You know, put a sign in the yard, put in the MLS, and then pray that the home sells. Like your real estate agent should be doing more than the 3 Ps. There should be some digital marketing that they're paying for. There should be some print marketing that they're paying for. There should be a team of people that is proactively calling through the neighborhood that the team or agent is providing that service for you as a seller. They should be doing more than just the 3 Ps, because anybody can do the 3 Ps. A discount service can do the 3 Ps. Right. But it's not going to net you the most amount of money. Yeah.
So for folks that are listening right now and they want to work with Johnny Jennings and the Made for More Living team, they've been hearing what you've been talking about, but they're in a market to purchase a house and they're hearing this conversation about bidding wars.
Yeah.
And for them, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with these all cash buyers from the Bay Area. But hope is not lost, right? Nope. It's not impossible. What are some strategies that you, Johnny Jennings, and the Tom Daves real estate team and Made for More Living, what strategies do you guys incorporate to help buyers in a competitive market where there's all these bidding wars?
Great question. So most people falsely believe that the highest price wins. And that is without a doubt not true. Sometimes, for sure, sometimes the highest price does win. But what really makes the difference is the real estate agent, because a good real estate agent will do. So we have an actual document that we provide our agents with, and it's titled 10 winning at bidding more tips and tricks. And there's 10 of them. And so one of them is you need to have a local lender, right? If you have a local lender who has gone through a pre-approval process, not pre-qualification. And so, for example, somebody submitted an offer on one of our homes, and they came in $40,000 over list price, and they were with Rocket Mortgage. Okay, 2 red flags there. One, they came in way high, so the home may or may not appraise for that amount, and if it doesn't appraise for that amount, then the seller's going to have to drop the price. So it looks great on paper, but in what's going to actually correlate to the seller's bank account isn't going to happen. Okay. The second thing is they had a pre-qualification with Rocket Mortgage. One, Rocket Mortgage is traditionally horrible to work with. They're on the East Coast. Their pre-approvals are not very valid.
They've got a lot of advertisement commercials that say otherwise. Are you telling me they're not telling the truth in their commercials?
I'm saying maybe they're sugarcoating their actual product. So, and there's a difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval. A good real estate agent is going to know the difference. Pre-qualification means, Matt, you and I were having a conversation. You told me what your income was. You told me what you thought your credit score was. And based off what you told me, I said you're pre-approved for X amount, or you're pre-qualified for X amount. Okay. Pre-approval means the lender has done a credit check. They've looked at your bank statements. They've verified your income. Like they've gone the extra mile. Okay. And then there's an underwriting process, which goes even further than the generic pre-approval. So a good agent is going to get you pre-approved and fully underwritten with a local lender. So that way and it doesn't cost you anything. This is a free process for you. And so when an experienced listing agent sees that pre-approval come across with the offer, they're like, okay, I know that lender. They do a great job. They're already fully underwritten. There should be no issues with the loan. Because you can make any offer you want, but the best offer is the one that closes. Yeah. So that's something that buyers should be doing, and their agent should be helping them with.
If you want some of this free information, if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, or you want to meet with Johnny Jennings, or if you're a realtor and you're thinking about, hey, I want to be on a better team, I want to be on the Made for More Living team, just go to made4living.com, right?
Made for More Living.
Made4living.com. If you're an agent, if you want to buy a home, if you want to sell a home, reach out to Johnny Jennings. He will reach out and talk to you, give you all this free information, and help you get to the next level of your life if you're buying, selling, or you're an agent. Again, made4living.com. All right, guys, there's a reason why they are number one in all of Sacramento, why they have more 5-star Google reviews. Johnny Jennings with the Tom Daves Real Estate team. If you're thinking about putting your home on the market, go to tomdaves.com, type in your address, find out right away what kind of offers you would get or how much you would get if you wanted a cash offer from Johnny Jennings today, no matter what kind of condition your home is in. Again, it's tomdaves.com, or reach out to Johnny Jennings. He'd love to talk with you about your home. It's 855-TOM-DAVES. Again, only the best. Johnny Jennings with Made for More Living.